Have you noticed something strange happening with travel lately? Like flights that used to be packed, now suddenly half empty? Major tourist spots in the US looking a bit deserted? Even Times Square isn't buzzing the way it used to. Well, guess what? It's not just in your head. Tourists really aren't coming to America anymore. And it's not just a small dip we're seeing. We're talking about entire flight routes vanishing, visa lines stretching past a year, and people from places like Canada, Germany, and Australia saying, yeah, we'll go somewhere else. So, what's actually going on here? Why is the world slowly backing away from the so-called dream destination? And more importantly, what does that mean for all of us? In this video, we're going to break it all down. The facts, the behind-the-scenes reasons, the global ripple effects, and yeah, some stuff that might really surprise you. You don't want to miss this one. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's unpack why America's tourism empire might just be quietly collapsing. Number 1. America's glory days of tourism. Let's rewind for a second. Before we talk about what's going wrong with tourism in the US, we need to understand just how strong it used to be. For decades, America was the ultimate travel destination. People from all around the world came to the US for the landmarks, the lifestyle, and the pop culture. Disneyland, Times Square, Route 66, you name it. They didn't just come for the views. They came for what America represented. The freedom, the opportunity, the adventure. It was the place to be. And then there was 2019. The year before, everything changed. The US welcomed nearly 80 million international visitors that year. That's more than most countries have in total population. Tourism wasn't just a side hustle for the economy. It was a gigantic powerhouse, pumping in $1.9 trillion a year and supporting about 1 in 10 jobs across the country. From big cities to small towns, thousands of communities relied on international travelers to keep their local businesses alive. But now, it's 2025, and something's different. The excitement is gone. That magnetic pull the US used to have? It's fading. Number 2. The first cracks in the foundation. According to the US Travel Association, visits from key regions like Canada, Mexico, Western Europe, and parts of Asia have dropped significantly. And it's not just for vacations. Business trips, student programs, and even airline routes are shrinking. This isn't just a post-pandemic slump. No, it's something deeper. It's starting to look like America's status as the world's go-to destination is slowly slipping away. But what's causing this? Why are fewer people visiting the US? And why does it feel like the world is quietly turning away from the land of opportunity? Number 3. The big reasons tourists are fleeing. The short answer is, it's not just one big reason. It's a combination of several factors all piling up at once. Let's start with one that most people don't even realize: visa delays. Right now, travelers in countries like India and Brazil are waiting up to 400 days just to get a US visa appointment. That's more than a year just to apply. And guess what? Most people don't wait. They just go somewhere else. But that's just the beginning. Let's talk about the border experience. Across Europe, Asia, and Australia, travelers are reporting longer waits, more aggressive questioning, and even racial profiling. Some visitors with valid visas are being detained or sent home. Germany's foreign ministry has even warned its citizens that a US visa no longer guarantees entry. And Japan's national broadcaster reported tourists being held for hours at US customs. And here's the kicker. There's also the strong US dollar. That makes everything from hotels to coffee more expensive. Add all this up, and a trip to America starts to feel like more trouble than it's worth. But that's not all. There's a much bigger issue at play. It's about how the world is viewing America right now. Headlines about gun violence, political unrest, and strained international relations don't exactly scream welcome. So instead, people are choosing other places, easier, cheaper, and more predictable places. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's steady. and it's costing the US millions of visitors. Number 4, the ripple effects. It's bigger than you think. When fewer tourists come to the US, it's not just hotels and theme parks that take the hit. The ripple effect is massive. Think about it. Small towns that once thrived on seasonal visitors are now quietly shutting down. Family-run tour companies, souvenir shops, local restaurants, they're all struggling. In places like Sedona, Key West, and parts of Hawaii, businesses that survived the pandemic are now just trying to stay afloat. But it doesn't stop there. Student exchanges are dropping. Business travel is stalling. Entire airline routes are being cut. Universities are losing out on global talent. Conferences are moving elsewhere. Even cultural institutions like museums and theaters are feeling the impact. When foot traffic dries up, so does the funding. And it's not just about money. Tourism is also about soft power, how America connects with the rest of the world. For decades, visiting the US was a way for the world to engage with American values. But with fewer visitors, that connection is fading. Number 5. Real examples. The US is losing its magic. Let's take a closer look at some real-world examples. First, Canada. In April alone, air travel to the US dropped by nearly 20%, and land border crossings fell by over 35%. Canadian media is now full of advice like, skip Florida and buy a vacation home in Portugal instead. Even Air Canada has started cutting routes to US cities, while adding more flights to Europe and Latin America. And then there's France, one of America's oldest allies. French travel agencies are seeing double-digit declines in bookings to the US. And it's not just about price. A major French paper even ran a front-page piece suggesting that America has lost its romantic image. Many French travelers are now choosing Spain, Greece, or even Quebec over the US. But it's not just individuals. Airlines, travel agencies, and even governments are all redirecting interest elsewhere. These aren't one-off decisions. They're part of a growing pattern, a quiet exodus from the US as the top travel destination. Number 6. The new competition. Who's winning now? So, if people aren't coming to the US, where are they going instead? Well, it turns out that everywhere else is stepping up their game. While America is bogged down by visa delays and border drama, other countries are making travel smoother, friendlier, and more affordable. Take Japan, for example. Tourism there is booming again. They've simplified their visa process, rolled out traveler perks, and launched a massive campaign targeting tourists who might have otherwise gone to the US. Thailand and Greece are also seeing similar spikes. They're offering what people want: easy access, warm welcomes, and good value. And it's working. Mexico and Portugal, two countries many Canadians and Europeans are now favoring, are promoting long-term stays and digital nomad programs. Some are even offering tax incentives for travelers and remote workers. Meanwhile, American competitors are focusing on experience, not just infrastructure. They're prioritizing cultural festivals, street food scenes, affordable transport, and welcoming vibes, and travelers are responding. In Australia, one of the country's largest travel agencies reported a 16% drop in bookings to the US, while interest in Japan and New Zealand surged. Number 7. The path to fixing it. Can the US recover? So, what can the US do about this? Can it bounce back? Absolutely. But it's going to take more than flashy tourism ads or social media campaigns. First, the US needs to fix the visa nightmare. No one should have to wait a year to plan a vacation. Fast-track systems, better staffing, and smarter scheduling could go a long way in making the process smoother. Next, the border experience needs a complete overhaul. Customs officers need to be trained in cultural sensitivity. Security procedures need to be more consistent. And international visitors need to be treated like guests, not suspects. These are people with dreams of studying, working, or simply exploring America. They remember how they're treated. Finally, America needs to rebuild its global image. This isn't just about policies, it's about empathy. If America wants to be seen as a welcoming destination again, it needs to prove it through action. We're at a turning point. For decades, the US was the place everyone wanted to visit. The land of movie sets, road trips, music festivals, and once-in-a-lifetime memories. But now that dream is starting to fade, not because people stopped loving what America offers, but because they no longer feel welcome. This isn't just about lost tourism dollars. It's about trust, reputation, and how the world sees the US. When visitors stop coming, it's not just empty hotel rooms. It's a sign that something deeper is broken. But here's the good news. It's fixable. With empathy, reform, and a fresh look at how we treat people, America can become that dream destination once again. So now, I want to hear from you. Is the US still the place you dream of visiting, or has something changed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And hey, if you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves to travel. Let's keep this conversation going.